What's up, y'all? We're here on If You Don't Know, Now You Know. And I got my girl here.
MilkMuva.
MilkMuva. We gonna get to how you got that name
Don't
first.
spice
I need to know how you got that name.
It's gonna happen.
But nah, she is a personal blogger. She is also an artist developer. But first, you are a journalist, right?
Yes.
So I'll let you tell the people exactly what you do.
Journalist, graphic design, website design. It's everything. I do
Lady
everything.
of many trades.
Yes, I'm a woman in media. I help people start up their craft, and that kind of sums it all up, actually.
Okay.
Startup bull.
Well, now we're about to find out, because if you don't know, now you know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
So MilkMuva, first of all, can I get your first name?
Samira.
Samira. Okay, how about you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Oh no.
Well, first, how did you get that name, MilkMuva?
Okay, so I was a little ugly duckling in high school. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't ugly. I was cute. I was puppy dog cute.
Okay.
So I grew up, and you know, people, they saw me in college, and somebody was like, "Yo, you really a glass of milk?"
Wow.
I was like, "What?" And this was around the time where that video, "Yo, you need some milk," like that thing.
The divine joint.
So like he was like, "Oh shit, I need some milk," and I was like, "Oh man."
Wow.
So it kind of stuck.
Okay.
It stuck. It was a college nickname, and then they added Mother to the end because, you know, Philly and Amber Rose.
I was wondering where that came from.
they did me dirty. So.
Wow. Well, that's what's up though. So MilkMuva Samir, you got the name because in college
The glow up was real.
You look like a glass of chocolate milk. Okay, got it. Got it. That's dope. That's dope. So how did you end up getting interested in this field that you're in now? I can't even generalize what field.
Well, writing. I've always been a writer. I was writing. I did poetry when I was young. I started at 9. It was my first thing that I've ever written was a letter to my grandmother who passed, and that shit was fire. I don't care. I was 9, but grammatical errors and all was fire.
Bars.
And then I fell in love with fiction writing. That's my first love. Fiction writing is amazing. Fantasy, all that Star Wars, Star Trek shit, I do. And then the journalism itself was because of Kid Cudi. I swear, if it wasn't because of him, if it wasn't for him, I would not be a writer, a journalist.
I understand. Elaborate.
He is one of my favorites, and I did an ode to Kid Cudi, and it was breaking down his album Wizard that he had with Dr. Genius,
right.
And I broke it down and what it meant to me, my favorite songs, and it was almost like a really late album review. And I definitely got a tattoo in dedication to this book. But no, but it's not his face or anything. I just got Wizard of Poetry on my arm.
Oh, okay. That's kind of
so
dope.
it was because of Kid Cudi. So I went in. I started because of just passion for music and expressing myself and how music really related to me.
So with that being said, when was it that you knew that this is something you want to take more seriously? And like I said, I can't marginalize you because you're in every field. But when was it that you was like, I want to take this creativeness seriously?
All of it? Okay, so when I was in high school, I decided I wanted to go to school for sports medicine.
Right.
And then when I went to college, I said, this shit is terrible. Why am I taking math right now? Why am I taking math?
I want to do none of that.
And I dropped out completely, and then I went back to what I used to do in high school. My science teacher, shout out to Mr. Britton, shout out to him. He told me that everything that I was doing was wrong, and I wasn't doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And I didn't know what he meant until I got out of I went to college and got out of it. So
what was it that like you really started doing that? It was like, all right.
I just went to expressing myself, listening to more music and making more time for that. Honestly, I started an anonymous blog. That was lit.
So like people didn't know it was you, or you was talking about people anonymously?
No, people didn't know it was me. I was talking
Okay.
about life experiences. That's how I got into lifestyle.
Gotcha.
How to tricks to survive insomnia,
Right.
and tricks for that, and it's just that's really how I started to get into it. Just using my real life and putting it out there, I guess.
Being music was such an influence for you, and you said you dropped out, correct? Mm-hmm. So like, besides dropping out and dealing with like figuring out which way you want to go into like that music inspiration, what's some of the most difficult challenges you had to deal with in terms of like finding your path?
It's gonna sound cliche, but for real, depression. And that was because I bounced around
That's
a lot.
That's not cliche. That's real.
You know, a lot of people, they say depression a lot, and they just be talking about
sometimes they don't know
like
exactly.
sadness. And I'm talking about real, I didn't know where I belonged type stuff. I bounced around. I was recently telling your manager that I went from PG County to Philly, and I was in Essex, Maryland. I was just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And my family dealt with like abuse and all that other shit, so my mind was all over the place.
Right.
And I think that kind of contributed to me not knowing what I wanted to do with my life, I guess. When you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, no guidance, you just kind of like thrown in the shark pit, I guess. That was me.
Since you did touch upon depression a little bit, what was it that kind of helped you like get out of the depression? Was it because you said depression kind of like catalyzed you going into the
My mom had a baby.
Okay.
My brother.
New life.
My brother.
More life.
Is I hope he see this too eventually.
Soon come.
But my brother, he was born. We're 13 and a half years apart, and people would be like, "What is that?" But I guess he saved me. At one point, I felt like I was gonna kill myself. Sorry, trigger warning. But I felt like I was going to just like tip off the edge, and then my brother came. He started to really recognize that I'm his big sister. He started to leech and attach himself to me. So I was like, I can't leave this little boy. I need to help him grow. I need him to be amazing. And he, Lord have mercy, he is 9 going on 40. And I guess he saved me.
That's good though. So what was it that like, would you say that he's what motivates you to continue doing what you do now?
Yeah, because I can tell that he's growing into being like a young man.
Right.
He's dealing with his anger a lot now, and he has a disability, so he's trying to understand why he's just short. Like, put it that way. So he's smaller, he gets picked on, and then he has like a bad temper, and he's a fighter. Oh my goodness, I saw and,
warrior.
And I'm just like, man, and I want to show him that you can do what you need to do without doing that.
So in a way, you're kind of showing him how to handle his emotions the same way he helped you show him.
Yeah.
That's what's up, yeah. That's what's up. So like, what is it that kept you going in terms of all this creative work? Like, you're going through depression, you got your brother to take
all of
care
that.
Now you're traveling.
All of it is fuel. I wouldn't even say haters. Like, fuck that shit. I'm talking about like, just the outcome. When I sit in front of my laptop and I decide that I want to write about, I just did a piece for Nujabes. I don't know if anyone knows about Samurai Shampoo, but I am addicted to.
What you know about Samurai Shampoo, man?
I'm not just.
What you know about that?
Y'all gassing me up back there, stop it. But I love anime.
What?
And oh man, okay, so I love anime.
From a woman in a long time.
I love that's not even it is in my tops, but it don't stop there.
Okay.
But when I get the results from doing stuff like that, and then I actually start a dialogue on a TL, and it's not people arguing,
right,
and it's actually people speaking to each other,
right,
that's what keeps me going. And I'm just like, that is my goal.
And it's such your ability to influence.
When I started, not my hashtag, but my slogan, whatever it was, whatever you want to call it, was
MilkMuva? Glass of milk, was it?
No, stop. No, it was you don't have to agree.
Word.
You just gotta think.
Gotcha.
And that was what I wanted out of everybody who read anything that I created or put out, whatever.
So would you say that you kind of go for the objective to polarize your audience?
I want to stimulate the mind.
Stimulate it. Okay. So not necessarily just polarize, but you just want conversation. You want them to have that think bigger.
I want people to start thinking for themselves, regardless of if they feel like they're going to get blackballed, or if people are going to pick on them, or people are going to be like, what the fuck? Because God forbid you have a opinion on Twitter.
Right.
You'll get roasted.
Man. Oh man, there's always they always say something too. There's always a Twitter for something like feminist Twitter or meninist Twitter. Like
meninist. What is that?
Yeah, so there's always just a Twitter.
It's a Twitter for everything.
Exactly.
You know my favorite Twitter, Shea Butter Twitter.
Shea Butter
Twitter.
Where's
Hilarious.
Bald Man Twitter at, man? Are we out here? Can we get some support for Bald Man Twitter?
Okay,
you think? Like, dang.
I think there's a Bald Man Twitter. No, y'all have a hashtag though.
We got a hashtag.
Got men with beards and bald heads.
I can't imagine.
It's a whole group of women out there that would just like lick and drink your backwater. No, I'm dead ass.
In a perfect world, man. In a perfect world.
I mean, I wouldn't do it. But it's women out there.
Oh, if it was milk though, would you? Nah, I'm just playing.
Oh my god.
Nah, but we'll keep going though. So how would you say that your social life changed as you were able to like really develop like this following, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about
nowhere
personal
without
stories.
people saying, Mama, where Amber Rose at?
Wow.
That's not me.
Wow.
I'm milk to you. But it's amazing how people look at me and then they're like, I need you to put my stuff out. And then it comes to a point where I can be like, I'm accepting submissions, music submissions. If you want me to give you some private feedback, I'll do that. And I'll get at least 50 emails. And I'm just like, I played myself.
Wow.
I played myself. And it's great when people feel like they can trust me.
Right.
That's what I like. When people feel like
genuine
they're going to get what they need and not what they want.